Welcome to the Masterclass Series, Anticipatory, Cyber and Digital Diplomacy 2.0, date 03-04 August 2026, for African diplomats, courtesy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria. Speech by Dr. Liti Awalu, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria. From Digital Capability to Diplomatic Action, Preparing the MFA for Technology-Enabled Crisis Response. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved. Subscribe to build Africa's cyber and diplomatic resilience. YouTube at Anticipatory Cyber Digital Diplo.
To the second presentation before we take a few question and answers. So the topic for the next presentation is from digital capability to diplomatic action, preparing the MFA for AI-enabled crisis response. And the presenter is one of our own. I respectfully invite my colleague and brother, Dr. Liti Awalu, for his presentation.
And direction. Leadership establishes a mandate, allocates resources, and provides authority necessary for rapid crisis activation. The ministry ideally should have a standing AI crisis activation protocol. This should be approved, and this allows the unit to initiate monitoring when predefined triggers have been met, and of course, it can act before we lose valuable time in certain scenarios. Second is people and skills development. Technology alone cannot interpret diplomatic context. Of course, desk officers, analysts, and mission staff require training in AI-assisted reporting, open source intelligence, verification, of course, digital crisis management. Simulation exercises such as Operation Silence are invaluable because they strengthen institutional memory and ensure that personnel remain prepared for this kind of emergencies. Third is technology and infrastructure. Secure government clouds, resilient communications, of course, integrated dashboards, reliable backup connectivity, enable uninterrupted coordination between headquarters, Nigerian missions abroad. Ideally, in a crisis situation, mission should never lose contact with headquarters, simply because local telecommunication infrastructure has failed during a crisis. The fourth is data and knowledge management. Every crisis generates lessons. The ministry should maintain a searchable institutional knowledge repository containing previous, in certain situations, evacuation operations, crisis response procedures, diplomatic precedents, and lessons learned. This ensures that future response teams build upon experience rather than beginning from the scratch. Governance, ethics, and management. Artificial intelligence must operate within clearly defined ethical, legal, and governance frameworks. Human approval must remain mandatory for public statements, possible evacuation adversaries, and sensitive diplomatic communications. And in situations whereby AI processes personal information relating to Nigerian citizens abroad, such processing must comply with Nigerian Data Protection Act, and of course, the ministry's policies governing confidentiality and accountability. Finally, as highlighted earlier, partnerships, innovation, and continuous learning. This actually extends the ministry's reach beyond its own institutional boundaries. So I think the ministry should work very closely with all the necessary partners, ECOWAS, African Union, United Nations. Of course, we have technology partners, the academia is important, and so on. What this does is actually it strengthens the ministry's capacity, and then, of course, it gives you, enriches analysis and expands such capacity during prolonged crisis. No institution possesses all the expertise required to respond to this crisis. Distinguished participants, I believe by now you will agree with me that the MFA AI unit is not a technology-only unit, but an institution enabling capability.
Bluetooth mode.
There's a difference between possessing digital tools and possessing organizational ability to use those tools effectively under pressure together across missions and agencies in the space of hours rather than days. In a few moments, you participate in Operation Silent Song. I encourage you to carry 3 things with you into that scenario. Know your workflow. And this workflow is assess, analyze, advise, escalate, decide, and communicate. Secondly, know your escalation line before you need it, not while you are using it. Finally, remember that one coordinated message delivered with confidence will always serve Nigeria better. In conclusion, if we invest wisely in capability rather than technology, the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs will not simply adopt artificial intelligence, it will develop institutional competence to use it as a strategic instrument for diplomacy, national security, and international leadership. I thank you for your attention, and I wish you productive and successful Operation Silence. Thank you.
Hosted by Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria. Facilitated by Consultancy Support Services, CS2, Limited. info@consultancys.com. Copyright at 2026. All rights reserved. Subscribe to build Africa's cyber and diplomatic resilience. YouTube at Anticipatory Cyber Digital Diplo.